Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. Before we dive into something that'll probably keep you up tonight, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what you're doing right now. Eating? Working? Lying in bed in the dark? I want to know. So here's what's coming. A man makes a deal he can't refuse, becomes something he never imagined, and discovers that some contracts have fine print written in blood. Stick around till the end. Trust me, you'll want to see where this goes. Let's get into it. The first time I sold a soul, I threw up for 20 minutes straight. It wasn't the act itself. I'd gotten used to the pitch, the handshake, the signature. What made me vomit was watching the guy walk out of my office with that satisfied grin, completely unaware that he'd just traded eternity for a promotion he'd lose in 6 months anyway. His name was Gerald. Mid-40s, thinning hair, coffee stains on his tie. He reminded me of who I used to be. That was 3 months after I signed my own contract. 3 months after everything changed. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is David Brennan, and I was the best damn salesman in Millbrook, Pennsylvania. Population 4,000. 2 traffic lights. 1 decent diner. I worked at Brennan Auto Sales, my family's dealership, inherited from my old man who died thinking I'd amount to something. And I was good. Really good. I could sell a rusted pickup to a millionaire and make him feel like he'd discovered treasure. It wasn't about lying. It was about finding what people wanted and showing them they'd already found it. People don't buy products. They buy the feeling of having made the right choice. Give them that feeling, and they'll sign anything. Then Olivia got sick, my daughter, 22 years old, just graduated college, about to start her first real job as a graphic designer. Smart as hell, artistic, had her mother's eyes and my stubborn streak. Then one morning she collapsed in our kitchen. The doctors used words I couldn't pronounce. Autoimmune disorder, aggressive, rare. The treatment wasn't covered by insurance. They quoted me numbers that made my vision blur. 200,000 for the first year, maybe more. I had 17,000 in savings. I took out loans, maxed out credit cards, sold everything I owned. I worked doubles, triples, drank coffee until my hands shook and my heart hammered against my ribs like it wanted out. Olivia got thinner. Her skin turned the color of old paper. She stopped painting, stopped smiling. I was drowning, and no amount of smooth talking could sell my way out of this one. That's when he walked in. It was a Tuesday, late afternoon. The dealership was empty except for me and Rita at the front desk. I was staring at medical bills when I heard the door chime. He was tall, 6'3", maybe 6'4", wore a black suit that probably cost more than every car on my lot combined. His shoes made no sound on the linoleum. His face was hard to describe. Handsome, but in a way that made you uncomfortable. Dark hair slicked back, pale skin, and his smile. God, that smile. Warm and cold at the same time, like sunlight on a tombstone. "David Brennan," he said, not a question. "That's me." I stood, extended my hand. Sales instinct. "What can I do for you today?" He looked at my hand but didn't take it. Just kept smiling. "I'm not here to buy. I'm here to offer you something much more valuable." I'd dealt with enough weirdos to know when someone was pitching a scam. But something about his voice made me stay put. It was smooth, textured, like aged whiskey and smoke. "I'm listening," I said. He walked past me, ran his finger along the hood of a used Chevrolet, left no print. "You're drowning, David. Medical bills, debt. Your daughter's dying, and you're too proud to declare bankruptcy. You lie awake at night doing math that doesn't work." My throat went dry. "Who the hell are you?" "I have many names." He turned to face me. "Your people have called me Lucifer, Beelzebub, the adversary. But you can call me Mr. Severin." I should have laughed, should have called security. But I couldn't move. The air felt thick, heavy. The fluorescent lights buzzed louder. I could smell something faint and acrid, like sulfur masked by expensive cologne. "What do you want?" I whispered. "The question is, what do you want? You want your daughter to live. You want the debt gone. You want to stop feeling like a failure. You want power, control." Every word was a hook in my chest. "I can give you that," he continued. "All of it. Your daughter will wake up tomorrow completely cured. Your bank account will never hit zero. You'll become the most successful salesman in this country. People will compete for your time. And what do you get? Your soul, after you die." He said it casually. "But I don't just want your soul sitting idle for eternity. I want you to work for me now. You have a gift, the ability to persuade, to sell. I want you to use that gift to bring me more souls, and the more you bring, the greater your reward in my kingdom. You could become royalty in the underworld, an emperor among demons." My brain screamed that this was insane, but my gut knew this was real. "How?" I heard myself ask. "You'll sell them, not with fire and brimstone, with hope, with promises. You'll offer people their heart's desire, and in the fine print, they'll sign away their souls. They won't know, not until it's too late. And if I say no?" The temperature dropped 10 degrees. "Then you watch your daughter die slowly while you drown in debt. And when you finally die, broken and forgotten, your soul goes nowhere, nowhere at all." The lights flickered. I could taste copper. "Clock's ticking, David." I thought about Olivia, about her laugh, about teaching her to ride a bike, about her graduation, about the way she looked at me now, with pity and resignation. "Where do I sign?" Mr. Severin's grin could have lit up the dealership. He pulled a piece of parchment from his jacket. It smelled like dust and something ancient. The contract was simple. My soul in exchange for everything he'd promised. Services rendered on earth in the form of spiritual acquisitions. Duration, until death. Blood is traditional, but ink works fine. He handed me a pen, heavy, gold, warm to the touch. My hand shook as I brought it to the paper. This was evil. This was damnation. But what kind of father lets his daughter die when he could save her? I signed. The moment the pen left the page, and everything changed. Heat exploded through my chest like I'd been struck by lightning. I gasped, stumbled back. The contract dissolved into ash. Mr. Severin watched with detached interest. The heat turned to ice, racing through my veins. My vision sharpened. Sounds became clearer. I could hear Rita's heartbeat from across the room, and something else. Something new. Like a voice in the back of my head, whispering secrets about everyone around me. Their wants, their fears, their prices. "Congratulations," Mr. Severin said. "You're now a collector. The changes will manifest gradually." He buttoned his jacket. "I'll be in touch. But trust me, you'll know what to do." "Wait." I reached for him, but he was already walking toward the door. When he passed through, the sunlight didn't touch him. He cast no shadow. Then he was gone. I drove home in a daze. Everything was sharper, more intense. I could see patterns in people's behavior. When I stopped at a red light, I knew the guy in the next car was thinking about leaving his wife. I don't know how I knew. I just did. The next morning, Olivia woke up hungry, said she felt better. The color was back in her cheeks. By afternoon, she was painting again. A week later, the doctors used the word miracle. My bank account showed deposits I couldn't trace. $50,000. Then another, and I started to change. My teeth felt sharper. My eyes looked darker in certain lights. My voice carried a weight it hadn't before. When I spoke, people listened. Really listened. I went back to work. Sold 6 cars in one day. But I knew that I wasn't just selling cars anymore. I was selling something invisible. And every customer who walked out satisfied left a little emptier than they'd arrived. The first one I knew for sure was Gerald. He came in looking for a used sedan, left with a luxury SUV he couldn't afford. But that wasn't the real transaction. While we talked, I felt the pull. Most people couldn't consciously hear it, but they felt it. In their chests, in their guts. It made them lean in, made them agree, made them trust me, even when every instinct screamed not to. I practiced alone sometimes, recording myself, playing it back. On tape, that second voice was clearer, deeper. It spoke in a language I didn't know, but somehow understood. And it was always hungry. Olivia noticed. She'd recovered completely, more than recovered. She glowed with health, gained weight, started a freelance design business that took off immediately. Got a boyfriend, a nice guy named Trevor who worked in IT and laughed too loud at his own jokes. She was happy, genuinely happy. But she looked at me differently now. It started small. A pause before hugging me, a flinch when I raised my voice. Then one night, about 4 months after the deal, she came to my house. I'd bought a new one, bigger, in a better neighborhood. She stood in my doorway, wringing her hands. "Dad, are you okay?" I was at my desk, reviewing sales reports. Numbers that didn't make sense unless you understood what was really being sold. "I'm fine, honey. Just working. You know me." "That's the thing." She stepped inside, closed the door. "I don't think I do anymore." My stomach tightened. "What do you mean? You're different. You look different. You sound different. And your eyes?" She trailed off, hugging herself. "Dad, what happened to you?" I could have told her the truth, could have confessed everything. But the voice, that second voice, whispered to me, told me what to say. "I've been stressed. Live. Build in the business, making sure you're taken care of. It's been exhausting." The words came out smooth, practiced. I watched them work on her in real time. Her shoulders relaxed, her expression softened. "I know, and I'm grateful. I worry about you. Don't." I stood, walked over, hugged her. She was stiff in my arms. "I'm doing what I need to do. For us. For our family." When she left, I caught my reflection in the window. In the glass, with the darkness behind me, I looked like something wearing David Brennan's skin. Something that had eaten him from the inside out and was puppeting his corpse. I poured a drink, drank it, poured another. The phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello? David?" Mr. Severin's voice, smooth as oil. "How's business?" I hadn't heard from him since the day I signed. Part of me hoped I never would. "Busy. Good. You're exceeding expectations. 47 acquisitions in 3 months. Impressive for a beginner." He sounded pleased. "But we need to discuss your next phase." "Next phase?" "You've been collecting retail customers, small souls, desperate people making desperate choices. That's fine for training, but you're ready for wholesale now." "I don't understand." "Recruiters." "David, you're going to build a team. Find people like you. People with the gift, people in crisis, people who do anything for a way out. Bring them into the fold. Teach them what you've learned. Each soul they collect adds to your count, your reward." My hand tightened on the glass. "You want me to damn other people?" He laughed. It sounded like breaking glass. "You've already damned 47. What's a few more? Think of it as middle management. Every successful organization needs a hierarchy. You could oversee an entire region. Imagine the power, the influence. And when you finally join me permanently, you'll have earned a throne. I need time to think." "You don't." His voice hardened. "This isn't a negotiation. You signed a contract. Services rendered means what I say it means. You'll start recruiting, or I'll consider you in breach. And trust me, David, you don't want to know the penalties for breach." The line went dead. I sat there in the dark, staring at my phone. The drink in my hand tasted like ashes. Recruiting meant finding people at their lowest, people like I'd been, and dragging them down with me. I tried to tell myself I couldn't do it, that there was a line I wouldn't cross, but I'd been crossing lines for months. What was one more? The first recruit found me. His name was Vincent Reyes. Late 30s. Used to own a construction company until a lawsuit bankrupted him. Wife left. Took the kids. He was living in a motel off Route 15, working as a night janitor just to eat. He came into the dealership on a Saturday. Didn't look like someone who could afford a sandwich, let alone a car. But I felt it immediately. The potential, the hunger, the willingness to do whatever it took. I approached him. "Can I help you?" He looked embarrassed. "Just browsing. Killing time." "You're not here for a car." His eyes met mine. Saw something there. Recognition, maybe. "No, I guess I'm not." We talked. I bought him coffee, let him tell his story, and with every word I saw myself 6 months ago, saw the desperation, the rage, the feeling that God had abandoned him and the world owed him something. The voice whispered, told me what to say. "What if I told you there was a way out?" I leaned forward. "A real way, not a loan, not charity, a opportunity." "I'd say you're full of it." "Maybe." I smiled, felt my sharp teeth press against my lip. "Or maybe I know someone who makes deals, life-changing deals, the kind that solve every problem you have." His expression shifted, guarded, curious. "What kind of deals?" "The kind that cost everything and give you everything." We talked for 2 hours. I didn't lie, not exactly. Told him about the contract, about what he'd become, about the price. But I also told him about the power, the money, the respect, the feeling of never being helpless again. And I watched him tip toward yes. "What do I have to do?" he finally asked. "Same thing I do, sell. But you'll be selling more than products. You'll be selling hope and collecting something in return." "Souls." He said it flatly, testing the word. "Souls." He laughed, bitter, hollow. "I don't even believe in souls." "You will." 3 days later, I introduced him to Mr. Severin, watched him sign the same contract I had. Watched the same transformation begin. The heat, the ice, the voice that wasn't his own worming into his brain. When it was done, Severin turned to me. "Well done, your first recruit, the first of many." Vincent looked at me with eyes that were already starting to darken. "What have you done to me?" I didn't answer. Couldn't, because I'd just done to him what Severin had done to me, made him a monster, given him no choice but to become something that fed on desperation. And I'd do it again. Had to. The contract demanded it. Over the next 2 months, I recruited 4 more, each one easier than the last, each one a little piece of my humanity peeling away. I taught them the tricks, the techniques, how to read people, how to find the hook, how to close the deal that damned. My sales team became something else, a cult, a plague. We spread through Pennsylvania like a disease, setting up dealerships and real estate offices and insurance agencies. Any business where people made big decisions, signed contracts, trusted salespeople. The money poured in. I bought a mansion, cars I'd never drive, clothes I'd never wear. None of it mattered. None of it filled the space growing inside me where my soul used to be. Olivia stopped calling. When I finally reached out, Trevor answered her phone. "She doesn't want to talk to you, Mr. Brennan. Put her on, please." A pause. Then her voice, small and distant. "Dad? Liv, I miss you. Can we have dinner? Just talk?" "I don't think that's a good idea." "Why not?" She was quiet for a long time. When she spoke, her voice cracked. "Because you scare me. I don't know what you've become, but it's not my father. My father was kind. He was human. Whatever you are now, it's not him." "Olivia, don't call again, please. I love you. I'll always love the man you were. But whoever you are now, stay away from me." She hung up. I stood there holding the phone, feeling nothing and everything at once. The voice whispered that it didn't matter, that I'd saved her, that she was alive because of me, that her rejection was just proof the deal had worked. But underneath, in whatever piece of David Brennan still existed, I screamed. That night, Mr. Severin appeared in my living room. Didn't knock, didn't use the door, just materialized like smoke. "You're progressing beautifully," he said. "5 recruits, each one productive. You're building an empire." "She won't talk to me." My voice sounded hollow. "Who?" "Olivia. My daughter. The reason I did this." He smiled, walked to my bar, poured himself a drink I didn't remember buying. "The irony is delicious, isn't it? You sold your soul to save her, and now she can't stand to look at you. That's the cost, David. That's always the cost. You never mentioned that. Would it have changed your answer?" I didn't respond. We both knew it wouldn't have. "I'm here because it's time for the next step," he continued. "You've proven yourself capable, reliable. But now I need something specific, a particular acquisition." "Who?" He set down his glass, pulled out a photograph, slid it across the coffee table. I looked at it. My blood went cold. The man in the photo was Robert Kellerman. I knew him well. He'd been my mentor when I first started in sales 20 years ago, taught me everything, was the closest thing to a father figure I'd had after my own dad died. He was 73 now, retired, living in Florida, good man, the best man I'd ever known. "No," I said. "Yes." "I won't." Severin's expression didn't change, but the room got colder. "You will. Or your contract goes into default. And when that happens, everything I gave you, Olivia's health, your money, your power, I take back, with interest. Find someone else." "There is no one else. This is your test. David, prove you're committed. Prove you understand what you are now. You're not human anymore. You're mine. And what's mine obeys." He vanished. Left me alone with the photograph and the sickness spreading through my chest. I had 2 weeks to bring him Robert Kellerman's soul, or lose everything, including Olivia. I flew to Florida on a Tuesday. The flight was smooth. First class. Champagne I didn't drink. I stared out the window at clouds that looked like cotton and thought about how easy it would be to open the emergency exit, to just fall. End it before I had to look Robert in the eye and damn him. But I wouldn't die. Not really. The contract made sure of that. I'd survive. Broken. And Severin would take everything anyway. Robert lived in a modest condo in Clearwater. Ocean view, palm trees, the kind of place you retire to when you've lived a good life and made smart choices. I stood outside his door for 10 minutes before knocking. He answered wearing cargo shorts and a fishing shirt. His face lit up when he saw me. "David. My God, kid, what are you doing here?" He pulled me into a hug. He smelled like sunscreen and coffee, like safety, like the past. I hugged him back, felt my sharp teeth cut into my lip, tasted blood. "Surprise visit," I managed. "Had some business in Tampa. Thought I'd stop by." "Business my ass. You came to see an old man." He grinned, pulled me inside. "Come on, I just made a pot. You still drink it black?" His condo was clean, simple, photos on the walls. His late wife, his grandchildren, his fishing trophies. A life well lived. A life that deserved better than what I was about to do. We sat on his balcony. The ocean stretched out forever, blue and indifferent. "You look different," he said after a while. "Older, tired. Been working a lot." "I heard. 3 dealerships now. That's incredible." He studied me over his mug. "But something's wrong. I can see it." "Talk to me, kid." The voice whispered, told me where to start, how to open him up. But I couldn't. Not yet. "How's retirement?" I asked instead. He shrugged. "Quiet. Too quiet sometimes. I miss the action, you know. Miss the thrill of closing a deal, teaching young guys like you how to read people." He smiled. "You were my best student. You know that?" You taught me everything. Not everything. You had the gift already. I just showed you how to use it." He paused. "You're using it now, aren't you? Reading me, trying to figure out what I want." My stomach dropped. "Robert, it's okay. It's what I taught you." He set down his mug. "So what do I want, David? What's the old man missing?" The voice surged, showed me everything. His loneliness, his regret over not spending more time with his wife before she died, his fear of being forgotten, of his legacy disappearing, of dying alone in this condo with nobody to remember his name. I could sell him, could promise him purpose, power, a way to matter again. "You want to feel relevant," I heard myself say. "You want to know your life meant something." His expression shifted. Yeah, I guess I do. "What if I could give you that?" "David, I'm serious. What if I could offer you a way to be remembered, to have influence, to never be alone again?" He frowned. "What are you talking about?" This was it, the moment. I could feel Severin watching somehow, waiting. I told him everything, about the deal, the contract, what I'd become, what I was offering him. I laid it out plainly, clinically, like a sales pitch, because that's what it was. The biggest sale of my life. When I finished, Robert sat back. His face was unreadable. "You're telling me you sold your soul to the devil?" "Yes." "And now you're trying to sell me?" "Yes." He was quiet for a long time. The ocean crashed against the shore. A seagull screamed. "David," he said finally, "do you remember what I told you on your first day? The most important rule in sales? Know when to walk away." "Right. Know when to walk away. Because some deals aren't worth making." He stood up. "I think you should leave." "Robert, please." "No." His voice was firm. "Sad. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know if you're having a breakdown or if this is some kind of sick joke. But the David Brennan I knew, the good man I trained, he's gone. And I'm not going to let whatever you've become drag me down too." I stood, felt the panic rising. "If I don't bring you in, I lose everything. My daughter, my life, everything." "Then you lose it." He walked to the door, opened it. "Some prices are too high, son, even for everything, especially for everything." I could have forced it. The voice was screaming at me, telling me how. I could manipulate him, break him, find the exact words that would make him sign. But I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw the only person who'd ever believed in me, who'd seen potential when I had none, who'd taught me not just how to sell, but how to be decent while doing it. I walked to the door. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "Me too, kid. Me too." The door closed. I stood in the hallway, shaking, failed. I'd failed. Severin would take everything. I drove to the beach, sat in my rental car watching the sunset. The sky bled red and orange, beautiful and violent. My phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello? You disappoint me, David." Severin's voice, cold now. No warmth, no charm. "I gave you a simple task. You failed." I couldn't do it. Couldn't, or wouldn't. Does it matter? It matters to your daughter. My blood froze. What? Olivia, beautiful girl. Shame about the relapse. What relapse? She's fine. You promised. I promised she'd be cured if you held up your end. You haven't. So the deal adjusts. His voice was poison. She has 6 months, maybe less. The disease will come back worse than before, and this time no amount of money will save her. No, please. Take me instead. Take everything else. Just leave her alone. It doesn't work that way. You signed a contract. Services rendered means delivering what I ask. You didn't deliver, so you pay the penalty. The line went dead. I screamed, punched the steering wheel until my knuckles bled. But the blood was dark, almost black, because I wasn't human enough to bleed red anymore. I called Olivia. No answer. Called again. Again. Finally, Trevor picked up. Stop calling. She doesn't want... Put her on. Now. It's an emergency. A pause. Then her voice, concerned. Dad, what's wrong? Are you okay? Do you feel sick? Any symptoms? I'm fine. Why? You need to go to the doctor. Get checked. Full workup. Everything. Dad, you're scaring me. Please, Liv, just do it. Just trust me. Okay, I will. But you need to tell me what's going on. I couldn't. How do you tell your daughter that you damned yourself to save her, and now she's going to die anyway because you couldn't damn someone else? Just get checked. I'll explain later. I hung up, sat there as the sun disappeared and darkness swallowed the beach. My phone buzzed. Text message. Unknown number. There is one way to fix this. Come to the address below. Midnight. Come alone. An address in Tampa, an old warehouse district. I had 3 hours. I drove there in a fog. The warehouse was abandoned. Broken windows. Graffiti on the walls. The kind of place where bad things happened and nobody asked questions. I walked inside. The space was vast, empty, except for a single chair in the center, illuminated by a shaft of moonlight through a hole in the roof, and Mr. Severin standing beside it. David, punctual as always. What is this? A renegotiation. He gestured to the chair. Sit. I sat. The chair was old. Wood. It creaked under my weight. You failed your test, he continued. But I'm feeling generous. I'm going to give you a choice. A real choice. Not the illusion of one you had before. What choice? He walked around me slowly. Predator circling prey. Choice 1, you walk away. Right now. Break the contract. I take back everything I gave you. Olivia's health fails. You lose your money, your power, your recruits. You go back to being David Brennan. Broken, poor, watching his daughter die slowly. But you'll be human again. Whatever's left of your soul, you keep. And choice 2, you double down. You stop pretending you're still a good man. You accept what you are, my servant, my collector, my prince of lies. And you prove it by taking the one soul you've been avoiding. Robert already refused. I'm not talking about Robert. He stopped in front of me, smiled. I'm talking about Olivia. The world stopped. What? Bring me your daughter's soul, and I'll cure her permanently. She'll live a long, healthy life. And when she dies naturally, 60, 70 years from now, she'll come to me. But you'll have saved her, truly, completely, and you'll have proven your loyalty beyond question. You'll become exactly what I promised, an emperor in my kingdom. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. She's your daughter. Exactly. The ultimate test. Abraham had Isaac. You have Olivia. Except I'm not sending an angel to stop you at the last second. He leaned in close. What's it worth to you, David? Her life? Is it worth her soul? You're insane. I'm practical. This is what you signed up for. You just didn't realize it until now. He straightened. You have until dawn to decide. Either way, the clock is ticking. For both of you. He vanished. I sat there until my legs went numb. Until the moonlight shifted and the warehouse filled with shadows that moved on their own. I thought about Olivia. About her laugh, her art, her future, everything I'd sacrificed to give her. And I realized something that made me want to tear my own skin off. I'd never saved her. I'd just delayed her death and damned myself in the process. And now, to truly save her, I'd have to damn her too. Unless there was a third option. I drove back to Robert's condo, 3 a.m, pounded on his door until he answered, bleary-eyed and annoyed. David? What the hell? I need your help. I told you, not with the deal, against it. I pushed past him. You're the best salesman I ever met. The only one who could out-negotiate me. I need you to help me find a loophole. He stared at me. A loophole in a contract with the devil. Yes, that's insane. I know, but you always said every contract has one. Every deal has a weakness. I need you to help me find it." He should have thrown me out, should have called the police. Instead, he sighed, closed the door. "Show me the contract." "I don't have a physical copy." "Then tell me every word you remember." I did. Every clause, every comma. We sat at his kitchen table as the sun came up, picking apart the deal I'd made, looking for anything, any weakness, any way out. And we found it. One line, buried in the middle: services rendered until death. Until death, not after, not eternal, until. "What if you die before completing the contract?" Robert asked. "What happens to the deal?" "I don't know. Find out." At dawn, Severin appeared in Robert's living room. Robert jumped back, knocked over his coffee. But I'd expected this. "Time's up, David. What's your answer?" "I have a question first. About the contract. What happens if I die before fulfilling it?" His expression flickered, just for a second. "You won't. But hypothetically, if I do, what happens to Olivia, to the deal?" "The contract nullifies. All benefits revert, including her health. And my soul?" Another flicker. Uncollected. There it was, the loophole. If I died before damning Olivia, the contract would break. She'd get sick again, but she'd be alive. And my soul wouldn't go to hell. It would just end. Nowhere. Nothing. But not his. And maybe, with me gone, she'd have time to get real treatment. Use the money I'd made. Live. I pulled out the gun I'd bought on the drive over. "David," Robert started. "No." I pointed it at my own chest, looked at Severin. "Deal's off." His face contorted. The charm dropped. What was underneath was ancient. Terrible. "You can't. If you kill yourself, I'll make sure she suffers. I'll make sure everyone you love suffers. The contract says you can't. You can only collect what's owed. If I die, nothing's owed. I'll find another way. No, you won't. Because deals are binding. Even for you. Especially for you." I felt calm. Clear. For the first time in months. You taught me that. Rules matter. Contracts matter. And I just found the exit clause. Vincent burst through the door. Then two other recruits. My team. Their eyes black. Their teeth sharp. "Boss, we felt something wrong." They saw the gun. Understood immediately. "Don't," Vincent said. "We need you. We're building something." "You're building hell on earth." I looked at each of them, saw what I'd done, what I'd made them. "I'm sorry, for all of it, for damning you, for making you into this." "David," Severin's voice was silk and razors. "Think about what you're doing. You'll lose everything." "I already have." I smiled. It hurt. "But at least I'll die human." I pulled the trigger. The sound was enormous. Pain exploded through my chest. I fell, hit the floor, blood pooled underneath me, and it was red, bright red, human red. Severin screamed. It shook the building. Cracked the windows, but he couldn't stop it. Couldn't touch me. The contract was breaking. I could feel it tearing away from my soul like skin peeling off. Robert was kneeling beside me, pressing his hands to the wound. "Someone call 911. "Won't matter," I whispered, blood in my mouth. "Too late." "You idiot." "You stupid, brave idiot. Tell Olivia," I coughed. "Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I loved her, the real me, not the thing I became. Tell her yourself." But I couldn't. The darkness was coming. Not hell, not heaven, just nothing. The absence of everything. Peace. Severin's face appeared above me. Furious. Defeated. "This isn't over." "Yeah," I breathed. "It is." I died on Robert's floor at 6:47 a.m. The contract dissolved. My recruits collapsed, freed from their bindings. The darkness in them lifted. They'd still have to live with what they'd done, but their souls were their own again. Olivia got sick 3 weeks later, but with the money I'd left her, clean money, earned before the deal, she got treatment. Real treatment. It took 2 years, but she recovered. For real this time. She never knew what I'd done, what I'd become. Robert never told her. He just said I'd died trying to fix a mistake, which I guess was true. I don't know where I am now, if there's anything after, if this is just neurons firing as consciousness fades. But if you're hearing this, if somehow this story reached you, know this: every deal has a cost, every contract has a price, and sometimes the only way to win is to flip the table and walk away, even if it kills you, especially if it kills you. I was the devil's salesman. I damned 47 people and recruited 5 more. I became a monster to save my daughter. But in the end, I chose to be human again, even if it meant choosing to be nothing at all.